Beware of spoilers. The following podcast discusses all published books on Harry Potter and the Song of Ice and Fire too. Vassals of Kingsgrave presents The Seven Potters.
The air itself quivering. Then one by one, figures began to pop into sight as their disillusionment charms lifted. Dominating the scene was Hagrid, wearing a helmet and goggles and sitting astride an enormous motorbike with a black sidecar attached. All around him, other people were dismounting from brooms and, in two cases, skeletal black-winged horses. Wrenching open the back door, Harry hurtled into the mist. There was a general cry of greeting as Hermione flung her arms around him. Ron clapped him on the back. "All right, Harry, ready for the off?" "Definitely, I wasn't expecting this many of you."
Mad-Eye, growling. "Change of plan. Let's get undercover before we talk you through it." Harry calls across the room.
"Kingsley, I thought you were looking after the Muggle Prime Minister."
Kingsley, he can get along without me for one night. You're more important.
Tonks. "Harry, guess what?" Narrator. Tonks wiggled her left hand at him. A ring glittered there.
"Harry, you got married."
Lupin, I'm sorry you couldn't be there, Harry. It was very quiet.
"Harry, that's brilliant.
Mad-Eye. All right. We'll have time for a cozy catch-up later." Narrator. Moody dropped the sacks at his feet and turned to Harry. Mad-Eye. "As Daedalus probably told you, we had to abandon Plan A. Plus, thickness has gone over, which gives us a problem. He's made it an imprisonable offense to connect this house to the Flu network. Place a portkey here or apparate in or out. All done in the name of your protection to prevent you-know-who getting in at you. Absolutely pointless, seeing as your mother's charm does that already. What he's really done is stop you getting out safely. Second problem. You're underage, which means you've still got the trace on you."
"Harry, I don't..."
Mad-Eye. The trace, the charm that detects magical activity around under 17s.
"Harry, so what are we going to do?"
Mad-Eye. We're going to use the only means of transport left to us, the only ones the trace can't detect, because we don't need to cast spells to use them. Brooms, thestrals, and Hagrid's motorbike. Harry could see flaws in this plan, however he held his tongue to give Mad-Eye the chance to address them. Mad-Eye. So this time, when you leave, there'll be no going back, and the charm will break the moment you get outside its range. We're choosing to break it early, because the alternative is waiting for you-know-who to come and seize you the moment you turn 17. Narrator. Pointless exposition ensues. Harry asks a lot of dumb questions. Fade out, fade out, fade out, fade in, fade in, fade in. Mad-Eye. I forgot to mention the key point. 14 of us won't be flying to Tonks' parents. There'll be 7 Harry Potters moving through the skies tonight, each of them with a companion, each pair heading for a different safe house.
From inside his cloak, Moody withdrew a flask of what looked like mud. There was no need for him to say another word. Harry understood the rest of the plan immediately. "No! No way!"
Hermione. "I told them you'd take it like this."
"Harry, if you think I'm going to let 6 people risk their lives..."
Ron, because it's the first time for all of us.
"Harry, this is different. Pretending to be me..."
Fred, well, none of us fancy it, Harry. Imagine if something went wrong and we are all stuck as Squeaky Squawny gets forever.
"Harry, you can't do it if I don't cooperate. You need me to give you some hair."
George, well, that's the plan. Obviously, there's no chance at all of us getting a bit of a hair unless you cooperate. Fred, yeah, 13 of us against one bloke who's not allowed to use magic. We got no chance.
"Harry, funny, really amusing."
Mad-Eye. "If it has to come to force, then it will. Everyone here is overage Potter, and they're all prepared to take the risk. Let's have no more arguments. Time's wearing on. I want a few of your hairs, boy, now."
Harry glanced at Ron, who grimaced at him in a just-do-it sort of way. With all their eyes upon him, Harry reached up to the top of his head, grabbed a hank of hair, and pulled.
Hermione. "Oh, you look much tastier than Crabbe and Goyle, Harry. Oh, you know what I mean. Goyle's potion looked like bogies." Mad-Eye. "Right then. Fake Potters, line up over here, please."
Ron, Hermione, Fred, George, and Fleur lined up in front of Aunt Petunia's gleaming sink.
Lupin, we are one shot, Mundungus. I told you I'd sooner be a protector.
Mad-Eye. "Shut it! As I've already told you, you spineless worm, any Death Eaters we run into will be aiming to capture Potter, not kill him. Dumbledore always said you-know-who would want to finish Potter in person. It'll be the protectors who have got the most to worry about. The Death Eaters will want to kill them."
Mundungus did not look particularly reassured. Ron, Hermione, Fred, George, Fleur, and Mundungus drank. All of them gasped and grimaced as the potion hit their throats. When Harry straightened up again, there were 6 Harry Potters gasping and panting in front of him.
Fred and George, we are identical.
Wow, we're identical!
Fleur.
Fred.
Oh, Fred. I don't know though. I think I'm still better looking.
Fleur. Bah. Bill, don't look at me. I'm hideous.
The real Harry thought that this might just be the most bizarre thing he had ever seen, and he had seen some extremely odd things. He watched as the 6 doppelgangers rummaged in the sacks, pulling out sets of clothes, putting on glasses, stuffing their own things away. He felt like asking them to show a little more respect for his privacy, as they all began stripping off with impunity, clearly much more at ease with displaying his body than they would have been with their own.
Ron, I knew Ginny was lying about that tattoo.
Hermione. Harry, your eyesight really is awful.
Once dressed, the fake Harrys took rucksacks and owl cages, each containing a stuffed snowy owl from the second sack.
Mad-Eye. Good. The pairs will be as follows. Mundungus will be travelling with me by broom.
Mundungus, why am I with you?
Mad-Eye. Because you're the one that needs watching. Arthur and Fred.
Fred, I'm George.
Mad-Eye. Sorry, George.
Fred, I'm only yanking your change. I'm Fred really.
Mad-Eye. Enough messing around. The other one, George or Fred or whoever you are, you're with Remus. Miss Delacour?
Bill, I'm taking Fleur on Testril. She's not that fond of brooms.
Fleur walked over to stand beside him, giving him a soppy, slavish look that Harry hoped with all his heart would never appear on his face again.
Mad-Eye. Miss Granger with Kingsley, again by Testril. Tongs. Which leaves you and me, Ron.
And you with me, Harry. That's all right. We'll be on the bike, brooms and thistles. Can't take me weeks, say. Not a lot of room on the seat with me on it, though, so you'll be on the sidecar. That's great, said Harry. Fade out, fade out, fade out, fade in, fade in, fade in. Is this it? Said Harry. Is this Sirius Spike? The very same, said Hagrid. The last time you was on it, Harry, I could fit you in one hand. Harry could not help but feel a little humiliated as he got into the sidecar. It placed him several feet below everybody else. Ron smirked at the sight of him, sitting there like a child in a bumper car.
Mr. Weasley, please be careful, Hagrid.
Mad-Eye. Alright then, everyone ready, please. I want us all to leave at exactly the same time, or the whole point of the diversion's lost.
Everybody mounted their brooms.
Good luck, everyone. See you all in about an hour at the Burrow. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Welcome to Vassals of Kingsgrave. This is our Harry Potter episode. I'm Vikram. I go by as Fortytwo on the forums. And joining me for this are head boy Glenn.
Hi there, I'm Glenn, Dagos Revels from the forum.
And head girl Nadia.
Hi, I'm Nadia, and on the forums I'm Nadia.
Hey guys, how's it going? How was your Saturday so far?
Saturday has been fine so far. So in the UK right now it's 4 p.m. So almost half the day has gone. But the weather has been good. It's been fine.
Yeah, and here it's fine too. Good. We've had rain, so we love rain over here.
That's good. So guys, what's your favorite books of all? Glenn, what's your favorite book?
My favorite book is the Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. So I think this is my favorite because it is the book that I have read the most of the series. So it is also the only one that I own in paperback. The rest I read, I borrowed the rest through the library system, but this is the only one that I have actually purchased, and I think I've read it about 5 times now. So I think what I like most about it is the fact that it deviates from the standard formula of the other books, which seem to be, it moves them away from Hogwarts and changes the structure, and also the fact that there's a resolution to the story. Perhaps that's what I like most about it.
That's very interesting. How about you, Nadia? What's your favorite book?
Probably the first one, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, because that's the one that you get introduced to Hogwarts and Diagon Alley, and that's just the first place I fell in love with the books. So probably that. Just seeing, I think that was seeing Diagon Alley for the first time. It was just it really was magical, and I was quite young at the time, so it's still my favorite, even though it's probably the most childish of the books now when I read them. But I still love that one.
No, no, you're very right. The Philosopher's Stone is a really special book. I think this is kind of like the first book where, the magical world, the fantasy is kind of taking place in our own world. There's still the Prime Minister, there's still the regular world, but you still have this hidden world in the shadows, which
I
is pretty
love
cool.
that
Yeah.
platform and three quarters. I just 9 3/4. I just love that. There's this just one pillar separating the Muggle world from the magical world, and that's just
Yeah, just the fact it's in our world, it's not in a magical different planet or anything like that, where the winters are long or anything like that. It's pretty cool.
I just find, let's see, book 1 and 2, the Philosopher's Stone and Chamber of Secrets, I just find them very difficult to read now. I think it's because they are so similar to the movies just followed those two books very closely. So I think when I'm reading them, I feel like I already know exactly what's going to happen in the next page. So first read for those two were good, but rereads are very difficult for those two books.
Yeah,
but they're meant for like 11 12 year olds, so obviously.
Yes, that's a good point.
yeah, I have to say my favorite of all the books is The Order of Phoenix, and the reason it's strange, the reason why I like the book the most is the one I'm able to relate to the most, because I think in that book they were preparing for the OWL exams, the ordinary visiting level exams, and if they don't do well, they're not gonna pick their preferred careers. And back in India, we went through these whole slew of tests and exams to get into our desired college and stuff. And so, I could relate to that a lot, and I
I
could
can I
picture
can relate to
myself
that.
there. Yeah, right?
Yeah, I know that's it's crazy. It's exactly the same as our school system. So
I
if
think
you
Yeah,
don't choose
all
it,
school
then you're
systems
gone.
yeah,
they
you
work
don't st
that way. Certain
No, but I think in other countries you at least have the option. You can go to college and you can explore different subjects, and it's not like that over here. It's just once you've chosen, you've chosen. It's very difficult to change your career.
Yeah, we have like a separate college for engineering, separate college for medicine, separate college for commerce and things like that. And you're asked to pick that right when you're in like high school or something. So
Yeah, so it's very difficult to do that.
But yeah, the entire time I was reading the book, I could just picture myself being there studying for the exam. Instead of studying portions or something, I'm studying for calculus or something like that.
I know. I can relate to that one as well.
Daggers, that's Glenn, that's interesting. The Deathly Hallows. That's not really one of my favorite books, I would say. I just felt that the Deathly Hallow plot just came out of nowhere, and the entire time I couldn't understand what it had to do with the final climax too. So could you talk about more what exactly you liked about it?
Okay, what I like about it, I guess the fact that just the
Again,
structure change. The other books just feel um, like they follow the same format each time. There's small differences, but it's the same thing all the time. Whereas the Deathly Hallows seems like it's, I guess, not going to Hogwarts immediately, and the fact that the three characters are in so much danger. I think that's what I like most about that book. Although
no,
It's more real than
it
the
could
other books,
benefit
I
for
guess.
being slightly longer.
Yeah, and actually, I'm giving it a lot less credit. The entire scenes where they were running through the forest, hiding, plotting, getting into the ministry, getting into Gringotts. Definitely lots of cool stuff happens in the book. My gripe is just with the way it ended. I think I just felt, defeating Voldemort with an Expelliarmus is just
I
so
was just a little too
disappointing.
much.
But otherwise, it was an excellent book. Yeah, I'm sorry. Deathly Hallows, I understand why it's your favorite. Before we talk about this other thing about why Goblet of Fire won Hugo instead of a Storm of Swords, Game of Thrones. Let's talk about one aspect of Ice and Fire that Game of Thrones could borrow, or Ice and Fire can borrow. I'm sorry, I did really screw that up. One thing from Ice and Fire that Harry Potter books could have picked up.
One thing missing from, let's see, an element of Ice and Fire which could benefit Harry Potter, the Harry Potter series. Or was it vice versa?
Yeah, Ice and Fire to Harry Potter, anything like, the writing style or plot points, everything's open. Let me go first. I think I really like Martin's point of view style of writing. It just, it just spreads the thing around and you get not just from one character's perspective, get it from everybody. And the Harry Potter books, you go from A to Z just with Harry Potter and it kind of gets boring. Harry Potter
Yeah.
is, yeah, he's not a bad character, but seven books with one point of view is kind of, it would have been nice to see Hermione's point of view, Ron's point of view. It would have been
I'd love
really.
to read Draco's point of view. You know, when he was being forced into killing Dumbledore, and he was really scared, and I would have loved to read that.
That's a very good point. Yeah, yeah.
And probably Ginny's as well. And Snape would be such an amazing character to write and to read.
Yeah, Snape's would have been a spoiler, because, all this time he cared for Harry, so
Yeah,
that
but
would have been a
still.
spoiler. But it would have been, she could have written him such a way that she hid his intentions and just left us clues and things like that.
Yeah. Okay, what I think is it should have had a little more realism. I mean, these kids were in the middle of a war, and even when you look at the final death toll, it's not many people died. I mean, Fred died and Remus and Tonks, but that was about it, really. I mean, of all the major characters, and there were quite a few. Um, there there wasn't that much actual damage, if you get what I mean. And this was supposed to be a total all-out war, right?
I
Um,
agree. Yep, 'cause the main six groups still survive. You know, Ginny, Hermione, Luna, Harry, Hermione, and Ron. They all survive throughout the war, despite I think there was this
Yeah,
point.
at least one of those people should have died. That's
Exactly.
what
I
I
agree.
mean. Not that I wanted them to die, but it's just that
It would have
it would have
added
been a
more
little more
realism to
realistic.
the situation. You're right.
Yeah,
Which one do you think
and
it
I
should?
mean, it should have been. I think it should have been one of Ron, Hermione, or I guess that would have been really, that's the real price of war. I mean, you can be on the right side, but still you lose people, and that's because this was one of those, white and black battles. It's the good guys and the bad guys. So, but even the good guys, lose people. So losing Remus and Tonks just isn't enough.
I I think that isn't a big problem for me in these books. I mean, right off the bat, we start off with Harry losing his parents, and it's there in the entire Sorcerer of
They've
Stone.
been dead. Like they've been
Then
dead for a time.
and then in the Half-Blood Prince, and then in the final book, we really miss Dumbledore. Actually, we really miss Dumbledore in Order of Phoenix, even though he was around. He would shun Harry, and the first part of Deathly Hallows, where he misses Dumbledore, and he's even thinking, should I trust this guy? He's not even being sincere about who he is and everything. So yeah, I think that is okay, but you're right. More we could have lost more characters.
Yeah, considering it was this huge war. I mean, the castle was pretty much ruined, right? And people didn't die inside it. I mean, people could have died from walls collapsing.
Yeah, yeah.
It
So
didn't have to be people killing people. It could have been just, collateral damage.
Oh yeah. How about you, Glenn? Yeah, can you think of anything that's good in Game of Thrones, Ice and Fire that you wanted to see in Harry?
I guess I would just agree with the realism aspect. Maybe, well, I guess some more use of adult language, but then I guess that would alienate the children audience of Harry Potter.
Yeah, yeah. So okay, let's yeah, that's funny though, right? I mean, Ice and Fire is taking place on this fantasy, I mean, in this different planet, and it feels more real to us than Harry Potter does. It's pretty funny. So let's see, let's flip the question then. One aspect of Harry Potter that you would like to see in Ice and Fire.
Perhaps better pacing. So Harry Potter always has some sort of mission, and he it doesn't drag out too much. Like it feels like it does in A Song of Ice and Fire for certain characters.
No, I feel exactly the same way. I think each Harry Potter novel stands as a good standalone novel. It has a start, it has a setup, and it has a climax. And you do have some of the Game of Thrones books, especially the Clash of Kings and the third book. But fourth and fifth book, there was no climax to any of those two stories.
Yeah,
There
even
was
if you put them
no.
together.
Exactly right. So yeah, you're completely right. It would have been nice to have, the three acts for each of the books instead of just doing it through the entire series in one go.
And I think maybe the point of view thing goes a little too far sometimes. That, characters who are doing nothing at all, maybe they don't need as many chapters. Sometimes I feel like that. I mean, Brienne could have done with a few less chapters in Feast for Crows, and Bran. I mean, I like Bran's point of views, but not all of it. Maybe they could have been, shortened, and it's just that's the one thing, I guess.
No, that's totally true. I mean, in the last book we have 13 Jon Snow chapters. What the heck was he doing?
Yeah, that's probably it. I mean, we could have, edited a few of the chapters and gotten the whole battle for Winterfell in. Maybe that would have made it so much better, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Reek only got like 7 chapters, but they were like so rich, right? I mean, go from Reek being
They had so
tortured
much
human
happening.
to him getting it, mustering enough courage to rescue fake Arya from Winterfell. I mean, that's quite an arc,
Yeah.
and more characters definitely deserve that treatment.
Mhm. For killing at Winterfell,
Yeah, we deserve that
just
battle
be
at least.
inside. Yeah.
Okay, so let's get to the big question then. So, was it in 2001 or 2002? The
2001.
2001, the Hugo Award went to A Goblet of Fire instead of Song of Swords. Let's discuss that. How do you guys feel about that?
First thing,
That is just crazy,
first thing I would
in
say
my
is,
opinion.
has anyone read
Sorry.
the other nominees?
Mm,
No.
I should have
So
done
in
my research.
2001, there was Calculating Gods by Robert J. Sawyer, The Sky Road by Ken MacLeod, Midnight Robber by Nello Hopkinson, then A Summer Swords by George R. Martin, and Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire by J.K. Rowling. Has anyone read the other books?
No,
The
just the
other three?
two.
No.
I haven't either, just in case anyone has.
Uh,
Like, the book was awarded on hype rather than quality.
I don't know. Goblet of Fire is definitely not my favorite of the series, though, but it's still a very fun book. I mean, the tribe is a tournament. The strategies that Harry came up to beat all his challenges, they were kind of smart. And the twist at the end, of Bartimus Crouch Jr. being Mad Eye, I think they were like very good twists. But yeah, nothing compares to Red Wedding and the Purple Wedding.
Yeah, I know, when you compare it to Storm of Swords, there was so much, and there was the whole trial by combat of Tyrion. That was so amazing. You can't compare that with the trial as a tournament. I mean, I love that, but you can't compare them. It was probably just hype because I think that was when Harry Potter was, at its
That
peak,
was
I think.
that was around the time where it became they started the midnight releases for Harry Potter
Yeah, exactly.
with Goblet of Fire, and it was the first free books were selling like crazy, number 1, 2, and 3 on Amazon, and the hot what's that book list called? The New York Times bestseller list.
Yeah.
But I got to say, I mean, the novel had a nice arc to it. There was a nice setup, and there was a decent enough climax. Voldemort coming to life. Versus Storm of Swords did not have that. Yeah, definitely, it's definitely hard to see why Storm of Swords lost to Harry Potter.
I mean, it's like a total roller coaster. You go from, the Red Wedding, which is just absolutely tragic, and then you go straight to, exhilaration at Joffrey dying. And then it just, trial by combat, and, Tyrion's winning. He's innocent, innocent, innocent. And then suddenly Oberyn Martell dies. And it's just, it plays with your emotions. You turn one page, you're so happy, and then the next, you just put down the book and you can't read anymore. It's because you're so sad. And that's amazing. I mean, I've read Storm of Swords, I think, 3 times now, and it's still the same for me. It doesn't matter if I've read them before. The scenes are still just as emotional for me as they were the first time.
And
So,
I still love the setup going on in the beginning of the novel, such as when Sansa and the Queen of Forms discuss marrying Sansa to Willis Tyrell, and then
yeah,
we go through
nothing
the book,
comes of
and
that. I was
just
very
so.
surprised, nothing came of that.
I was too. I thought it was going in a different direction, but it's so captivating from page 1 to the end.
Yeah.
No, definitely all. It's like, Storm of Sword is like, it's not one Harry Potter book. It's like I mean, if you take Arya's arc, that's one Harry Potter book. If you took Sansa's arc, if you took Tyrion's arc, you take the Stark's arc, everything's like their own novel, it kind of. So it's like 7 novels clubbed together in just one book. Yeah, they definitely
Yeah.
deserved Hugo. Yeah, but I think we are biased, right? We are pretty biased. So
Yeah,
le-
but the Hugo Awards are, I mean, they're supposed to be like the best of the sci-fi fantasy, right? I mean, I haven't read the other 3 books, but just comparing Goblet of Fire, it is, if you go back and read it now, you'll enjoy it, but you'll still think in the back of your head, I'm a little too old for this.
I don't know. I feel it's pretty ageless. I mean, the emotions do grow. I mean, first book
It
you
is, but
just had the parents'
it's
loss.
just, yeah, no,
It
I'm
has
just
been a long
talking
time
about
since
Goblet
I've
of
read it.
Fire. But I'm just talking about Goblet of Fire. I mean, these awards they're awarded to one book, right? Not the whole series.
Well, at
Also,
least
I might add that she did win the award, but she didn't attend the event to collect her award.
yeah, I think in the big scheme of things, Hugo Award, Nebula Award, these are all very small compared. So I'm not gonna ask you guys what's the worst book because there is no worst book. All of them are good. But what's the worst movie?
Hands down, Harry Potter and The Prisoner of Azkaban.
Oh no!
Yeah, that's my.
I remember after the trailer was released, and I went into school the next day, and I was just standing around waiting to get in with a few friends, and we were just suddenly started talking about the trailer and how awful it was, because it was that trailer where let's see, it's the choir singing at the start, and it just I was very unimpressed with the trailer, and first impressions were accurate.
Yeah, it was too dark. I think the cinematography, it was too dark. I mean, Harry Potter is supposed to be, all bright and magical, and it wasn't. And there wasn't the emotional impact I think the book had, where, Harry finds out that Remus is his parents' best friend, is one of his parents' best friend, and then the serious part was fine, but I think the Remus part was a little underplayed. I didn't get that the same feelings that I got from reading the book. And it was just overall, I just didn't really like it. I don't know why, I just didn't.
I also didn't like what they did with Malfoy's character. It just seemed like he became, a cliche American high school bully type character.
Bully? Yeah. But he was, in a sense, he was, even in the books. It wasn't until later that his character was a little developed, in the final books. I think in Half-Blood Prince and Goblet of Fire, we see a dual aspect to his character. Before, he was just a basic, playground bully.
Interesting. For me, I'm being very unfair when I say this. For me, the worst movie was A Sorcerer's Stone, and it was because of the kids acting. I know I'm being very mean here, but 90% of the movie, the camera was on the three kids, and all of their acting was awful. I'm sorry about that.
I mean, they
I
can get
can't.
good children to act. I mean, children who are good actors. I mean, if you look at Game of Thrones, they've got such amazing child actors. They're
Yeah.
really impressive. I mean, okay, Maisie Williams was I think 14 or 15 when she started. I don't know, she's 13 or 14. I'm not sure. But Isaac Hempstead Wright, he was pretty young and he's really good. And they have really good child characters. So it wasn't like you can't find characters who are brilliant from the start.
Yeah, I think they were very young also. I think they were like 10 or 11. I mean, the Harry Potters. I mean, Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, and whoever played Ron,
Rupert Grint.
Rupert
Rupert
Brand. Yeah, I think
Grint.
they were very young, and I'm not being fair calling them bad actors, but I can't watch Sorcerer's Stone. I think I just watched it recently again, only the second time, and I couldn't watch it all the way through. I had to like stop. They were better, so much better from the second movie onwards, and they are like loads better in the last movie. But if I have
I
to
was
say, yeah.
listening to it was an interview with one of the producers of the Harry Potter series, and they were talking about how the first 2 weeks of filming on the Sorcerer's Stone was just trying to get the actors not to laugh in front of the camera, and it was such an ordeal they just couldn't do it.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, but that's okay. That's understandable. I mean, these kids probably came in front of the camera the first time, so that's understandable.
So let's see. Anything else we want to discuss before we get into our games and stuff?
I've only watched all of the movies once because I don't really like them, any of them.
Uh, uh, yeah, let's talk
I
about
just
that.
I just think the books are way better.
Okay, let's just talk about that in very broad strokes. So how do you guys feel the books did? How do you guys think the adaptations were compared to the books? Any gripes you have about the movies?
I think that I just despise the splitting the last book into two movies idea. Of course, it made a lot of money and financially it was a huge success. In fact, okay, it's not splitting up the two movies that I hate. What I hate is when they just try and make up like excuses to say it wasn't about money when it so clearly was about money. You
But
see things like,
there was a lot of stuff to get through. I mean, when you translate it to, actual scenes, I mean, the Gringotts scene obviously would have taken a lot of time, and I
Yeah,
think that was in the first movie, I
yeah,
think.
the tone definitely, the first movie definitely felt very slow. I mean, it was pretty interesting, but felt very slow. And then you had Gringotts, and then the battle for Hogwarts right in the last movie, and the last movie felt
Oh,
very
that was in the second one.
Transformer-like because of that. So they could have spread things out a bit more, but I think they needed to make it into two movies because there was lots of stuff to do, and yeah.
I think they
Yeah, I
could
think the
still
first
produce
movie
a.
ended at Dobby dying. Was that in the first movie?
They
That was
escaped
the
from.
part one.
Yeah, they escaped
Yeah,
from
right.
Malfoy Mansion thanks to Dobby and their returns.
See, I don't even remember.
Yeah, for me the movies definitely miss. I did not pick up lots of important things from the movies by watching them in first go. Like I did not even imagine how important Dumbledore was until I read the books. I read the books after I watched the movies. So and
Okay.
in the movies, Dumbledore only shows up like for 10 minutes or 5 minutes, and you think it's all Harry doing, but in the books you hear all these other thoughts and stuff, and you see how important Dumbledore is. And also in Order of Phoenix, I think I did not get how much shunned Harry Potter was. I mean, they do mention couple times in the in the movie that the papers, the Daily Prophet, they are slamming Harry and how they're outcast now. But I did not get that much from the movies. So the movies were very, yeah, they did not do a good job of those fine points for me. Glenn or Dagos River came up with this awesome question, and it is what Harry Potter characters would be into what fandoms, and I'm gonna steal this and use it for other series as we do, like what series Picard would be into when we do our Star Trek stuff. Well, let's do this for the Harry Potter episodes. So, of all the Harry Potters, who do you think would be into Ice and Fire?
Okay, right. I think that Neville would read Ice and Fire.
Really?
Yep, I do think so. I feel like he would be into science fiction, fantasy, those types of novels.
Okay. Are we discussing minor characters as well?
Yeah,
We can
include everybody.
go with those?
And I have an addition to do. I think let's also do Lords of the Rings. Who would be into Lords of the Rings and Songs of Ice and Fire? Not that those two series are the same, but in our broad discussion, they're kind of similar enough.
Fantasy, yeah. Okay. I think Charlie would never read Lord of the Rings because they kill a dragon in The Hobbit. So
Oh yeah. Maybe he would read it because there are dragons in Ice and Fire and Lord of the
and
Rings.
Hagrid wouldn't read that either. You know, Dragon Crew.
I definitely have to agree with Neville, and I think Hermione might be into these stuff too. I mean, she would rather read educational book, I guess, a textbook rather than
Hermione
a
doesn't
book.
seem the type to read fantasy.
I mean, of all, she was the only one who read a history of Hogwarts, right? So I think she might be into all this stuff too.
Tonks sounds like she would be into these. I don't know, maybe.
Let's get into the next one also, Twilight. Who would be into Twilight? And I think Tonks would be the one who would be into Twilight.
I think Lavender Brown would be into
Ginny?
Twilight.
And I think Cho Chang would also be into Twilight. You know, Cho Chang was into Cedric Diggory, who was Robert Pattinson, who was in Twilight. So, easy answer.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
think Jenny-
these are like all 14, 15-year-old girls. I think they all read Twilight, so.
I don't think Jenny would read Twilight, but I think she would read The Hunger Games.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. And then she
Seems
probably
more
would be.
headstrong and, into women's rights.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, she would also be probably into like Avatar, Legend of Korra, and things like that. Let's see. Who would be into 50 Shades of Grey?
Lavender?
Mrs. Weasley.
Yeah, she would be.
Oh, Bellatrix Lestrange. She's definitely been into 50 Shades of Grey. She has the same kind of relationship with Voldemort, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one.
Let's see. Pokemon. Who would be into Pokemon?
I think Ron and
Yeah,
Harry would be into Pokemon.
Hagrid definitely, right?
Why Hagrid?
Well, you know, it's got all those creatures and stuff like that, all those misunderstood
Oh,
evil
yeah.
creatures.
Yeah.
Let's see, who would be into comic books and stuff like that? Superman, Batman, etc., etc.
Harry. Harry, I think, is the Superman kind of guy. And Ron as well.
I would say
And Neville. And Neville.
Neville.
And
Yep,
Dean
I
and
agree with
Seamus,
Neville.
all of them.
Okay,
Possibly
sports.
Colin Creevy would be into comics.
Yeah. He would be. I forgot about him.
Yeah, he hero worships Harry, right? So he would be into superheroes too.
Does Luna read books?
Yeah, actually Luna would be the one probably read Ice and Fire and things like that, right?
Yeah, they seem a little her type, I think.
Or she would be into all those conspiracy theories like 9/11 and UFOs, or did aliens build the pyramids?
Yeah, that's definitely her thing.
Any other fandoms you guys like to bring up?
I would say that, let's see, I think Ron would be a Rihanna fan.
Ariana from Ice and Fire?
So, no, Rihanna, the musical artist.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool. Okay, let's get into our Amin's patent pending Marry One Night or Scorpion games. Okay, and since we can't do any of the students, we'll only stick to teachers and some of the adult characters. And let's start with Tongs. Marry One Night or Scorpions with Tongs. And the Scorpions are for you, by the way.
Okay, yeah. I would say that I would marry Tonks. Yep, I would marry Tonks. So I think that she seems very well. She's very smart. She's seems like a very fun person. And yep, I think we would get along very well. So I would marry Tonks.
And same thing, marry for me
Me?
too.
Yeah, and if I get tongs, I'd marry her too.
Okay, so since I went for tongs, I need to do the same for the ladies too. Bill Weasley.
Oh yeah. Is that a question? Really?
Treasure hunter by night, bank accountant by day. Oh no, I'm sorry.
No,
Charms,
I
charms
definitely.
breaker by night, accountant by day.
He's not an accountant. He's totally the charm breaker kind of guy. Anyway, I'd marry him. Totally.
Yeah, definitely marry for me too.
Who
Okay,
else do we have?
okay. Rita Skeeter,
Ah,
Scorpions, right? Definitely 100%
scorpions.
Scorpions.
Yeah.
No. What does she turn into? She turns into beetles, right? Oh yeah, beetles all the way.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Hagrid, one night marry a scorpions.
Scorpions.
Yeah.
couldn't handle them.
Scorpions. Me.
Yeah, scorpions
Yeah.
me too.
That would be painful. So very painful.
I mean he's
I like Hagrid, but not that.
yeah, Hagrid. I would say scorpions for me too. I mean he's a good-hearted character, but even Harry and the others are kind of annoyed by him from time to time. And okay, Professor McGonagall.
Oh, I would marry her.
Yeah, if
She's
she was
just-
a little younger. Yeah.
Definitely
Yep, she's
marry.
amazing. She's just sort of
Yeah.
clouded my judgment because it's Maggie Smith. But yep,
Yeah,
I would marry her.
I love Maggie Smith, so yeah, me too.
Same thing, marry for me too. I mean, of all the teachers, I mean, obviously Snape and Dumbledore cared for Harry too, but it was more apparent with McGonagall. So yeah. So Dumbledore, marry one night of Scorpions.
Young Dumbledore, marry. Even though he was a little crazy, I think.
Yeah,
Still.
young Dumbledore was kind of ambitious, right? So you probably.
Still, I mean, he did defeat Grindelwald. I'd marry him.
Yeah, I think it's important to know whether it's Dumbledore before his sister died or after his sister died, right? That really changed him.
Yeah.
Yep, I would marry Dumbledore. I mean, no one can offer you more protection than he can in the dark world that is Harry Potter, the Harry Potter universe.
Yeah, marry Dumbledore after his sister died because that changed him. Okay, Snape.
That's a little difficult. I don't know. I'm not sure about that one. Definitely not marry.
I think Scorpions. I just couldn't handle his whining about this girl called Lily and some other
I know,
nonsense about
he's
this guy called James. He sounds like he would
he is a
complain a
little
lot.
whiny, isn't he? And I think he'd be the jealous sort, so definitely not marry.
Yeah, I think nobody can replace
Scorpions,
Lily for him.
Scorpions.
So yeah, it's the same thing.
I'll take the Scorpions.
Okay, Mrs. Weasley.
Why is Mrs. Weasley?
Miss-
Oh.
Mary, I would marry Mrs. Weasley. She's the perfect housewife. She's great cooking, and she's managed despite being from a poor, I guess one of the poorer families. She still managed to raise 7 kids, and they've always had 3 meals a day. I think that would be she could offer the firm leadership in the household, I think.
But that would be like marrying your own mother. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, I'm
What's
gonna
that?
go. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Scorpions just because of all the characters, she's the most motherly, So I'm gonna
I know.
Scorpions for the love I have of her.
Yeah, me too. I'll go with that one.
Okay, Mr. Weasley.
Mr. Weasley, again, who would marry their own father? Seriously. Scorpions. I love him, but Scorpions.
Yeah, I think I would lean towards the Scorpions. Too much competition for Mrs. Weasley, I guess.
You have scorpions too, you don't want to anger Mrs. Weasley. Okay, any other characters we want to discuss? I mean, there are a ton of them.
Charlie? I want Charlie.
Charlie. Okay, Charlie Weasley, the dragon tamer.
Yeah, marry. No, one night. I don't know. It's either one night or marry. He's not the marrying kind of guy, is he?
I don't know, we never saw him, right? I mean, it's always been like, hi, Charlie,
was-
hi, Charlie.
Yeah, but he was really cool. So at least one night.
He sounds like a ladies' man. Yeah, I think one night.
Yeah.
He's not supposed to be as handsome as Bill, right?
Come on, dragons.
Yeah, I would say one night though. I want to see him, get to know him a bit better, but not marry though. I don't want to be in Romania for the
Yeah,
rest of my life.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Since we didn't get a chance to talk about the main student characters, let's talk them about this way. Where would the student characters belong in Ice and Fire world? So let's start with Harry then. Which Song and Fire, Ice and Fire house would Harry belong in?
Harry's a very Starkish character, I think.
He always strikes me as a Bolton type character.
Really? Skinning people alive? Really?
I mean, Harry has such a tragedy, right? I mean, such a sadness to him, and it's like it so goes well with the Starks' winter is coming vibe. So I think
I
it
know,
fits
like he's
well
like
with the
John.
Starks.
He's the Harry Potter version of John.
Yeah, he would go to the Night's Watch and things like that too.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's go with Ron. Which house would he belong in?
Ron?
He would be a Frey.
No, he would be a Hollard. Hollard, I think? Dontas Hollard? He just seems that kind of guy.
Drunk all the time. I was thinking Baratheon. Nah, he's not a Baratheon. He's too common.
He
to be
doesn't
a
have black hair.
Yeah, yeah, definitely phrase, I think. The Weasley face of Weasley and all that.
Yeah.
Okay, Hermione, where would she belong?
Hermione. Oh, she would have become a Meister. I'm not sure what family
Silent
she would have
Sisters.
come from.
Silent Sisters.
No, she should be a Meister, I think.
No, I'm thinking too, Meisters, but since women can't be Meisters, I'm thinking one of the Scepters or something.
No, Hermione a Septa? No.
Okay, let's see, Ginny, where would she belong in?
Highgarden, I think. I mean, a Tyrell.
Highgarden is a good choice. I think I can agree with that.
Yeah.
Ginny is really fierce. I have to say Baratheon, I think. Or at least the dog.
No, I mean, she's
maybe.
like Marjorie. She's sort of like, she's a strong, sort of
Cunning.
a strong character, and yeah, I think she'd do well in Highgarden.
Well, the book Marjorie is very kind of quiet, not like the TV Marjorie though. If anything, she reminds me of Arya and Martell. Or at least the Sand Snakes, one of the Sand Snakes maybe.
She's not that fierce.
Mm.
Oh yeah, Hermione could be Sorella Sand. You know, the one who's becoming a Meister.
Okay, I had Cho Chang here, but we don't know much about her. Well, let's do Cho Chang too. Which house would Cho Chang belong in?
Ethnically, I suppose she sounds like she would be from Dorne.
Or the Dothraki.
Yeah,
the Dothraki,
Dothraki.
possibly.
They're Mongolian, right?
Or a Summer Islander.
Yeah, she sort of fits there. Definitely from Essos, not from Westeros.
Yeah, we only see her in the romantic context, so I'm kinda gonna put her in the Tyrell thing, Rose and everything.
But she's a little sort of a dumb, blonde kind of character. I don't
She's
know
a-
if that's very politically correct, but
I mean, okay, yeah, just remember she was on the Quidditch team for Ravenclaw, so.
yeah, but still, when Harry went out on that date, she was just lame.
Well, Harry was lame, so you can't blame her. That just tells you, right? If you remove Harry from the context of his thing, he's just a very ordinary character.
Exactly. He's not nothing special.
Okay, Neville. Where would Neville belong?
Neville, Sam, Tarly.
Exactly, right?
I don't
He's a
know.
Tarly.
He's like Sam.
He would go to the Night's Watch or the Maesters or something like that. He's a Tarly, definitely.
Yeah. Okay, who's next? Luna?
Let's see. Oh yeah, Luna.
I, ca- I don't know. Luna's just
Children of the Forest.
Targaryen. She would be a Targaryen. She's just.
Oh yeah.
They're all supposed to be mad, right?
Yeah, Children of the Forest are the Targaryen. Yeah, as you say.
Yeah.
What do you think, Glenn? Where would Luna belong in?
Luna. I'm trying to rack my brains, trying to think. I think Luna could make one of the sand snakes.
Really? Maybe one of the younger ones who we haven't seen yet.
Okay. Let's see. Any other interesting student characters we can talk about?
Alpha?
Draco.
Draco.
Yeah.
Sorry. Where would he belong?
House Lannister.
Draco would be a Targaryen as well. No, he sounds like, Aryan Targaryen or one of those. One of the troll ones.
He could be one of the Gascari kind of guy. Oh, I'm the great master from the pyramid. You are all you
yeah, he
elf
could
are
be
all
one of-
my slaves and all. So he's one of the Marinese noblemen. Maybe he's that or something.
Yeah, he could be.
Okay.
Crab and Goyle?
Crab and Goyle are just Melon Trant and Boris Blount.
Or right and left?
Yeah. No, they seem more like the Melon Trant and Boris Blount kind of guys.
I
Right and
can-
left are just quiet guys, right?
They just sound like guys from Flea Bottom who would end up in a prison or something and then taken over to the Night's Watch. I think you'd find Crab and Goyle on Night's Watch Patrol or something.
Yeah, probably.
I can
Okay.
agree
They'd
with
be
that. I can
noblemen,
imagine
right?
them on the wall.
Okay, let's play the flip side of this game. Which Hogwarts house would an Ice and Fire character belong? So let's start with Tyrion. Which Hogwarts house would Tyrion belong in?
I imagine that
Slytherin?
Tyrion would be in Slytherin.
Yeah, Slytherin. He's very
Ah.
cunning and smart.
That's true. That's very true. But I kind of am thinking Ravenclaw since he likes to read the
Ravenclaw.
books.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say that, but I think that's the Tywin side of him is more dominant. I think so. Slytherin.
Cersei Lannister, where would she belong?
Huh. She thinks she's cunning, but she's not. But she wouldn't fit in anywhere else, would she? So Slytherin, I guess.
Yeah,
I
she's
still
a
think,
Slytherin.
Slytherin for Cersei.
Yeah. She's not smart. She's not friendly. She's not brave or anything.
But she knows how
Okay.
to get what she wants, sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. So Slytherin.
Slytherin, definitely. How about Jaime Lannister?
I think
A Hufflepuff? No, that's wrong. I think Jamie would be a Gryffindor.
Yeah, I agree too. I mean, Hufflepuff or Gryffindor, but I think strongly Gryffindor.
Yeah, he's the
I think,
act before you think kind of guy. So
Yep, I would say possibly. Yep, I would say Gryffindor. That seems like the most obvious one.
yeah.
Robert Baratheon. I'm gonna say Hufflepuff.
No, he's also very Gryffindor.
Well, we have to put somebody in Hufflepuff, or they're not gonna have anybody.
Hufflepuff. Let's see.
The phrase?
Yeah, the phrase would go to Hufflepuff.
Okay, Ned Stark. Where would he belong?
He actually seems
Ned
like
Stark
he would
would
be
be
in
Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff. Ned
Yeah,
Stark.
he could be.
He's a very loyal person, a very honest person, and I think those are traits of Hufflepuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he probably would be in Hufflepuff too, because he's not really remarkable. The only reason he shined because all his brothers are dead and he's the only one. I'm sorry, I should cut that out. He still has Benjen Stark. People are gonna yell at me.
But still, I mean, Benjen Stark is in the Night's Watch, right? And he's the younger brother anyway. So Brandon is dead. That's what counts.
Yeah. Um, okay, Jon Snow.
John again, Hufflepuff. He's like the young Ned Stark, so Hufflepuff.
John, I always imagined Gryffindor or Jon Snow.
But
Definitely.
he
Just
also
because
thinks
he's,
about
one of the
before he
lead
dies.
heroes of the story. He's a typical, hero type character of this series of novels.
Definitely, he's definitely very similar to Harry and probably exhibits all the Gryffindor traits too. So, yeah, Gryffindor. Okay, Danny. Where would Danny belong?
Danny.
She seems like a Hufflepuff.
Yeah.
Just because I
Or
don't
or
think
she
she
could
would
go to
fit in with
Slytherin as
the
well.
other houses.
Yeah,
I think she could go to Slytherin as well. Or Hufflepuff.
that's very true. Depending on how you look at it, she could end up in Slytherin because she is kind of power hungry. She is ambitious, and also, yeah.
Yeah. And she's cunning in a way.
Okay, Arya. Where would Arya be?
Arya's a Gryffindor, I think.
I think Arya is a Ravenclaw.
Ravenclaw.
Yep, Ravenclaw.
No,
I feel like
she's not studious. Bran would be in Ravenclaw.
really.
Oh, yeah, that's very
Bran
good.
seems like a
Bran
Hufflepuff to
Ravenclaw.
me.
No, Bran is totally Ravenclaw.
Bran would be the perfect kind of a guy who would read Ice and Fire and Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. he likes all those. Wait, he is in Ice and Fire.
No, Bran would definitely read Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think I would put Arya in Slytherin too. She's not. Yeah, yeah. Okay, Sansa.
Sansa Hufflepuff.
She's like a perfect
Don't,
fit, right? No, no, no.
Yep,
yeah,
I would
don't
agree
really think
Hufflepuff.
about that.
I was trying to think of a justification for Ravenclaw, but I don't think so.
No, she's a Hufflepuff.
Bran,
I mean, we
Bran,
put Ned there. Sansa is like a female version of Ned, I think. She's just as naive.
Brienne.
Hufflepuff.
Brienne, either Gryffindor or Hufflepuff. But she's brave, right? She's very brave, so.
Yeah, brave, loyal, oath keeper, and everything. So probably Gryffindor.
Yeah, me too. That's what I think.
Stannis.
Stannis.
He doesn't seem
Not
brave.
Slytherin,
Well,
not Slytherin or
brave
Gryffindor
enough for
or
Gryffindor.
Ravenclaw. He's going to Hufflepuff, I think,
Yeah, I think I would have to settle on Hufflepuff.
because he
for this one.
doesn't fit in anywhere else, and Hufflepuff gets all the leftover ones.
But then his brother, so Robert, did we agree on Gryffindor for Robert?
Yeah, we did.
And the
I
house, yep, the Sorting Hat tends to assign family to the same house. Not all the time,
No,
but
but Sirius went to Gryffindor, even though all the blacks had gone to Slytherin.
I know not all the time, but sometimes it
Yeah,
does happen. So possibly that would be the justification for Gryffindor for Stannis.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
Robert in Gryffindor and Stannis in Hufflepuff is like a perfect fit.
Yeah, I think Hufflepuff as well. So
Davos.
I would say
Davos
Davos Gryffindor.
Yeah, Gryffindor.
Yeah, he's a hardworking guy and everything. So I think. Gryffindor. Oh, I was gonna say Hufflepuff because he's definitely a hardworking guy. That's one of the traits,
No.
right, for Hufflepuff.
Yeah, but he's better in Gryffindor, I think.
I'm sorry, I'm looking up the house traits thing just to get it for sure.
Okay, right.
Okay,
I remember Slytherin gets the cunning ones, and Ravenclaw gets the studious ones, and Gryffindor is the brave ones, and Hufflepuff is all the
Slytherin
rest.
are the evil ones.
Right. Slytherin value ambition, cunning, resourcefulness. Ravenclaw values intelligence, knowledge, wit. Hufflepuff values hard work, patience, loyalty, and fair play. Gryffindor values bravery, daring, nerve, and chivalry.
Yeah, that's Davos. Davos is very chivalrous, I think.
I would say patient and loyal and fair play.
He can go both ways, so he goes to Gryffindor since we've sent everyone to Hufflepuff.
Okay, who we have? Melisande.
Oh, Slytherin.
Right? Such a good fit.
Yeah.
Yep, I would agree with that, Slytherin.
Yeah, she's not racist though, like the Slytherins tend to be with mudblood and pureblood, but she probably
But
fit
she's
in well
always after
otherwise.
King's blood, right?
Oh yeah,
She's always.
yeah. Okay, Samwell, this is easy.
Oh, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, Ravenclaw.
Ravenclaw, Ravenclaw.
You can do it, Ravenclaw. Yeah. Finally, somebody for Ravenclaw.
Let's see.
Uh,
I'm
um,
not
oh,
sure about Ravenclaw or Hufflepuff. No, in fact,
Catelyn,
she's
why
not really that
haven't we discussed
hardworking, so yeah, I would say Ravenclaw.
We haven't discussed Catelyn anywhere, I
oh
think.
yeah, Catelyn, which house?
She's
I think Catelyn would be
Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff.
Yeah,
She
Yeah.
does her
Hufflepuff.
duty.
Yeah, Hufflepuff is like the mediocre house. Perfect friend for her. Okay, Doran Martell.
Cersei. Oh, okay. Doran would be Ravenclaw. I think he thinks a lot.
Yeah, fair, fair.
Doran Martell. Okay, I would say yep, Ravenclaw.
Okay, Oberyn Martell.
Oh,
Slytherin.
that's difficult.
Oh, I would say Gryffindor.
I would have said Gryffindor as well.
Yeah, if anything, he's the mean definition of nerve.
Yeah, he's Gryffindor.
I think he is ambitious and cunning enough to be in Slytherin.
But he's not ambitious. He's we haven't seen anything from him that indicates he's ambitious. He's after revenge.
Well, he was looking for revenge as a way to secure the throne for Marcella. So he took that opportunity to help Tyrion, because that would assist with making a claim for Marcella.
But I still think Gryffindor is a better fit for Oberyn.
Okay.
Yeah, he's definitely cunning in his own way, but not as cunning as Doran. But bravery and nerve are what kind of sticks out for me, and daring.
I mean,
Yeah.
even with Harry, the Sorting Hat was confused, right? It wanted to send it to Slytherin, and
Yeah, the
Fine,
hat might be
decided
confused here too.
yeah.
Okay, Tywin Lannister.
Ravenclaw.
Slytherin. He's ambitious.
Oh, in fact,
no one is more ambitious than Tywin.
Resourcefulness, cunning.
I'll take that
Olenna
back. I
Tyrell
would say
would also go to...
Sorry, Slytherin. Or Tywin.
Yeah. Olenna Tyrell would also be going to Slytherin.
Oh, very good, very good. And I probably Roose Bolton also, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, Varys, Littlefinger.
Let's see, Varys.
Littlefinger.
Littlefinger would be
Slytherin. He's the epitome of
Slytherin
ambitious
qualities. Yep,
yeah.
I agree.
And Varys isn't ambitious.
Isn't he?
Yeah, I think he's starting to show his ambition. Definitely was very unambitious, but after he would change to Slytherin now.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, but I think
Have we
both
discussed
those two
Cersei
would be
and
Slytherin.
Jaime?
Oh yeah, those were the first ones, and I think we put Cersei in Slytherin and Jaime in Gryffindor.
Oh, Gryffindor. Yeah. Okay.
Who do we think? So we've got a few characters that are in Slytherin. Who do we think would be Death Eaters?
Cersei definitely.
Tywin, I think would go that way.
Bolton's
Littlefinger-
I think
also.
Tyrion would be a Death Eater too.
Yeah, Littlefinger would be playing both sides, I think, and Varys as well.
Oh yeah,
They'd be
Littlefinger
disguised.
is the Malfoy of the world.
Yeah, I exactly. And who else have we sent there?
We sent
Bolton-
Arya and
Roose Bolton is a Death Eater, and Ramsay Bolton would be Bellatrix Lestrange.
we sent Dany and Arya too, but I don't think they would join Death Eaters, right? Oh no, Arya is
Yeah,
perfect Death Eater. She's like, yeah.
Just kills without questioning, right?
Oh yeah, she would be a perfect Death Eater. Cool. Any other characters we missed out? Barristan Selmy.
Hufflepuff.
I think
It's strange sending Barristan Selmy to Hufflepuff, but that's what I think.
No, that's perfect. Hardworking, patient, and loyal, and fair play.
Yeah.
I think I'll give him credit and say Gryffindor.
Okay.
What about Rhaegar? We don't know much about him, but he sounds like a Ravenclaw.
Definition of chivalry is Gryffindor for me.
He sounds like such a Ravenclaw, always thinking and reading and all of that.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yep, I would say Ravenclaw.
Yeah.
Blackfish.
Blackfish would be Gryffindor.
Blackfish, I think, would be a Ravenclaw.
Huh.
Really?
I'm thinking
He's intelligent.
Hufflepuff.
You see that. No, Gryffindor.
Yeah, I'm thinking Hufflepuff because he stayed at the gates of Ares, Erie for God knows how long, just so that yeah.
That was because he didn't want to go home. He was just being stubborn.
We're torn on this one.
But and then when oh crap, I forgot the Tully Edmure, sorry. So when Edmure was written, he immediately gave up the charge of the castle to him, and Edmure opened the
Yeah,
gates.
exactly. Just went
So,
straight back.
so yeah,
He's
he wasn't like, oh, this is mine now, get lost or something like that.
yeah. But still.
And he was the last Stark bannerman to hold out still, so
Yeah, and he was one of the heroes of the War of the Nine Penny Kings.
definitely, yeah.
So he's very much a warrior, so that sounds like a Gryffindor.
Okay, Jorah Mormont.
Oh, Hufflepuff.
He's not loyal though, or is he loyal?
I don't think he is loyal, no.
Yeah, not
But
fair to
still,
say also.
he doesn't seem like a Gryffindor or
No,
a Ravenclaw. He's really dumb, so no, not Ravenclaw, and definitely not Slytherin. So that leaves Hufflepuff.
yeah, he would be rejected from
And
Hogwarts.
actually, one of the Sorting Hat songs, I think, I don't know, in the first or second years, it actually says that Hufflepuff takes all the rest.
That's right, in the Hogwarts song.
Yeah, in one of them, Sorting Hat says that Hufflepuff takes all the rest. So we'll go with
Really?
Hufflepuff.
Oh, that's
That's
such
right,
a
if there's no
sad
natural
house.
fit for the other houses, they would go to Hufflepuff.
And we've sent many good characters to Hufflepuff as well. I mean, Ned went to Hufflepuff.
Let's see, actually, Hufflepuff dormitories are next to the castle's kitchen, it seems. Oh boy, Sam would probably switch now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jorah is kind of hard. If I were the headmaster of Hogwarts, I would reject him.
No, I'd send him to Hufflepuff. That fits.
Cool, I think we got all the important characters worth talking about. That's it for this week on Vassals of Kingsgrave. Thank you for joining us.